I'm off Wednesday because of my flex day. So I'm doing Monday, Tuesday, just to clear my desk and when I come back. So I'm off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So, probably. I tried to get to him, but I had so much stuff that I was knocking off my desk.
Call the Glassboro Zoning Board of Adjustments regular business meeting to order for November 20th, 2025. Tara, can you please read the opening statement?
Pursuant to the Open Publics Meeting Act, I hereby announce that adequate notice of this meeting, as required by said act, has been provided by adopting a schedule of regular monthly meetings for the year 2025, which schedule was posted on the Borough Hall Bulletin Board, mailed to South Jersey Times, and filed with the Borough Clerk.
Everybody please rise for a salute to the flag. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can we have the roll call, please?
Mr. Noonan.
Here.
Mr. Ellis.
Here.
Mr. Lopez.
Here.
Ms. Lafferty.
Here.
Mr. Perner.
Here.
Mr. Santor.
Here.
Mr. Smith.
Here.
Ms. Wyman.
Here.
Mr. Fiola.
Here.
Mr. Beegan.
Here.
Mr. Cowan.
Here.
Okay. Mr. Alice, would you like to swear in our professional?
Indeed. So, gentlemen, I'm going to ask each of you to raise your right hand. Each of you swear or affirm testimony you're about to give tonight is true and correct to the best of your knowledge, information, and belief.
I do.
That's 2 yeses, Mr. Chair.
All right. Everybody has a copy of the minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Motion to approve the minutes?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So be it. All right, we have the bills. Do I have a motion to pay all bills?
Motion to pay all bills?
Second.
I have a first, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So be it. Okay, do we have any, we don't have any incoming or outgoing correspondence. Before we start, is there anybody from the public that has any non-agenda items only? Nope. Okay, Mr. Alice, would you like to go over the,
Well, yes,
First
Mr. Chairman, members, thank you. The first matter that was indicated for tonight is ZB 25-03, Nicholas Bracco. This is being postponed to 12/18/25, the next Glassboro ZBA meeting. What had happened was the applicant had pushed out notice to everyone on the 200-foot list, but had forgotten to put the public notice out there, that being the notice that is published in the newspaper of general circulation. Now, as it happens, I think the gentleman's here, Mr. Bracco, he's here. And he's here, maybe he's gonna see how it goes in the land of the ZBA. But we won't hear from him until next month, so anyone who's here on that application, and I think there's no one, and I think you would agree with me, Mr. Chair, members, they would have to come back here 12/18/2025 at 7 o'clock, and then they could be heard on the Bracco application. So no further notice is going to be given, just that public notice is going to get pushed out in the newspaper. So thank you, Mr. Chair.
sounds good. All right, ZB 25-06, Ascenda, 40A, South Delsey Drive, Block 33, Lot 26. It's a C3 zone, looking for a use variance to permit an emergency homeless shelter in a commercial zone.
Thank you. Good evening, board members. My name is Robert Haggerty. I'm an attorney with the law firm of Moustakas Nelson, and I'm representing Ascenda this evening. I have two witnesses to present to the board, Gwen Holdsworth, who is the senior vice president of Ascenda, and Lara DeVicio, who is a professional planner licensed in New Jersey. I don't know if the board prefers to swear them now and anticipate.
Well, swear them in.
subsequent-
No,
All right.
absolutely, sure. And I'd
Terrific.
ask if you'd be so kind, each of you, to raise your right hand. And do each of you swear or affirm testimony you're about to give is true and correct to the best of your knowledge, information, and belief?
I do.
Well, thank you, thank you. We're, of course, well acquainted with Mr. DeVitro, a neighbor and a professional planner, professional surveyor, professional engineer. He does a lot. And then you said, I'm sorry, we don't,
Gwen Holdsworth, senior vice president.
senior vice president.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, I assume that you'd like the witness, yes, we can both have a seat at the table there. Okay, Ms. Holdsworth, can you tell the board what Ascenda does, describe the company generally to the board, please.
Sure, absolutely. Ascenda is an integrated healthcare agency. Our headquarters are located here in Glassboro. We provide a gamut of services. We have well over 100 programs that we provide in the community, ranging from outpatient, substance use, residential, maternal and child health services, prevention services, and child and family services.
And that's throughout, or multiple counties in the state of New Jersey?
We are currently in 11 counties in southern New Jersey, including Central and North Jersey.
Okay. And now, could you tell the board what Ascenda is planning to do with this facility?
Sure, absolutely. So we have a current program. It's called A Place to Call Home. It has been in existence for many years. It is currently located in Salem County, and we are hoping to relocate the program to our headquarters campus at 40A Delsey Drive. The program provides housing for up to 10 women plus their children at any given time. The average length of stay is 3 to 6 months. While they're there, of course, we're providing the housing. It is 24-hour staffed. While they're there, they are working on securing permanent housing. And then we are also working with them on self-sufficiency so that they can maintain the permanent housing once they find it.
Okay. And how many, what is the maximum number of clients that you would have at this facility at any one time?
The maximum that we are allowed to have at any given time is 10. We typically have closer to 6 to 7. Over like the past year or so, we've had 6 to 7 clients.
Do the clients typically have their own automobiles?
They are allowed to have their own vehicles. They are allowed to bring their own vehicles into the program with them. In 2024, 2 of our residents had vehicles. So far in 2025, none of the residents have had their own vehicles.
May I interrupt for 1 second? When you said we had 67 last year, was it, or whatever? Is that over the course of the year, or what did I hear?
6 to 7.
6 to 7.
2
That's what I
7.
was trying to get at.
Yes.
Well, that's,
It's
I heard
important.
2 numbers. I heard 10 is the max.
Ooh,
And then
no.
I was wondering if you were
No.
aggregating it. Okay,
Yes.
I
No,
apologize.
No apology necessary, sir. Is it fair to say that at any given time, less than half of the residents have their own automobile? I mean, is it more typical they do not have an automobile?
That would be accurate, yeah.
Where do these expectant or new mothers come from, generally speaking?
We can house women from Gloucester, Cumberland, and Salem counties.
And how many staff members will be present at the facility?
Right, so it is 24/7 staffed. At any given time, we would typically have 2 staff on site.
Okay, and the staff work in shifts?
Yeah,
And how long, are they 8, 12-hour, or does it vary?
it varies.
Okay. And you mentioned that the purpose of the program is to help these homeless mothers kind of get their lives together, and the ultimate goal is to transition them to their own permanent housing.
Correct, yes.
Okay. Gwen, was there anything else you would want to add? I feel like I've exhausted my questions for you, but maybe there's something that you would want to tell the board? No? All right,
This time.
great. All right, Mr. DeVitro, you have done this many times, correct? So what I'd like to do, if the board is all right with it, is I would just like to turn it over to Mr. DeVitro to make his presentation and address the professional's letters.
Mr. DeVitro knows exactly what to do.
Yes, I know.
So,
So I'll just stand aside and Watch
Thank you.
Mr. DeVitro
Good
work.
evening, everyone. Nice to be here. I'll go, I have 3 exhibits, and we might as well label them now. One is this is the actual plot plan that was submitted with the application, which is the overall property and all of the existing conditions. But since it's part of the application, I included it. Can we call that A1?
Sure, that sounds good.
And A2 is a Google Earth image with the plot plan superimposed on it, showing the existing conditions, and really this is a context map just to show the neighborhood and the surrounding uses around the property in question. I'll label that as A2. And then finally is an enlargement of the variance plan that we submitted. And again, this is just a reflection of the survey of existing conditions. We've highlighted and color-coded the different segregation of uses on the property. And I'll call that A3.
Would you describe that as like a colorized plot plan, or?
Colorized plot plan.
Right, okay. Yeah.
So speaking about the neighborhood and the property itself, this is the Ascenda complex. I'm sure you're familiar, it was formerly the Robin's Nest. It's been there for a long, long time and operating. The site is lot 33, lot 26, 3.61 acres. The area in the back, this is all vacant. There's a wetland delineation in the rear of the property. This represents the developed portion of the property. There's 270 foot of frontage on Delsey Drive and 308 foot of frontage along Alway Drive, which is where the main entrance is into the site. There's an additional, so the main entrance into the site off of here comes into the parking lot. The parking lots are connected, and then there's a one-way drive exiting out to Delsey Drive. But that is the complex. There's a mixture of buildings, so we can try and segregate for everyone. This is the existing administration offices, the headquarters for Ascenda, and it's signed as Estes,
Angela Estes,
Child-
Child and Family.
Child and Services Center.
Yes.
Right. And that's not part of the application. That'll just continue as administrative offices as it exists today. The application that we're discussing is the building here, which was the former group home, and is now vacant, and then there's an existing building behind that. Again, it's not being part of any change on the application, so I'll be discussing the existing home, which is really what we do on the site plan. Regarding the zoning, the property is in the I-1 Office Park Light Industrial Zone. The I-1 zone starts at this point and Grove Street and continues up to Route 322. Both sides of the streets is the industrial zone. There's a mixture of homes. Most of them are rental homes from what we could identify. There's a business, a transmission shop, an office, an auto service center in that area. But it is a business zone transitioning along Delsey Drive. Going south is the I-2 zone. Obviously, the industrial building right here used to be the, I think it was ice hockey manufacturing there, and now it's a multi-tenant industrial building that goes there. It's occupied. On Grove Street is the Carrefour place, the Carrefour Auto auction, and then the Glass for Public Works Department. So it's much more heavy than industrial, it's not in that normal residential neighborhood. The Ascenda place has been there for a number of years, and it's part of the fabric of the area. And it's coexisted with all that, but it's not really integrated into a living neighborhood, so.
Does your CEO know how long it's been there? I'm just curious. How long has it been there? More or less.
Our CEO?
Yes, you just
No.
got- you just promoted.
The facility. He said this Ascenda's been there for a long time.
Yes.
long?
Well, the Robin's Nest property has been there for a very long time. I think it's, oh gosh, well, Robin's Nest was in existence since 1968.
I was gonna say, it goes way, way back.
Mhm.
Okay, no, you,
I know it was there in 1999, they were operating.
Right, so it kind of started in the beginning, and then we added on, and the new complex, which is now our administrative, it was in 2001, 2002,
okay.
something like that.
Mhm.
Okay, no, so it runs pretty deep, 20, 30 years,
Yeah.
I mean, going on. No, yeah, thank you.
Okay, so back to the zoning, the overlay, I wanted to really the board get a feel for the neighborhood, the context. The zoning is the office park light industrial zone. Permitted uses in that zone are office, research, manufacturing, emergency care, family care, which is similar, meeting halls, social organizations. But the proposal is what we're titling emergency shelter for homeless pregnant women, will be the use, and that is not listed as permitted use. Consequently, we're coming before you to request a use variance for that. I'm gonna refer to A2, which is really the actual site plan. What we've identified, this is the two-story building, which will be the place for the homeless shelter here, which was formerly a group home. There are no proposed changes to the site, utilities, lighting, stormwater, everything is in place would remain as it is. The only thing that would change is the occupancy that occurs in this building when the operation takes place. The two-story building on this side, which is the Center Administrative Offices, is 22,000 square feet. Again, the entrance and parking, we've shaded that parking as beige because that's associated with the administrative building. What I've shaded in gray here is a parking allocation equivalent to what your parking ratio is. The parking ratio is suggested at 1 space per 200 square feet for medical use. That would require, for these two buildings, 36 spaces. So we have adequate parking immediately adjacent to the site, consistent with your parking ratio. If we look at the overall campus, then we are coming up short on parking. So I'll explain that, and we have some thoughts on that. There's 116 parking spaces in total, including a parking area back here. Again, circulation, this would be the building, this would be the potentially 10 residents or occupants there, and 2 administrative people, staff that would be going with them. We have 13 parking spaces here. If the tenants would not be driving, maybe 1 car or so, all of this parking would be available. It's excess parking. We don't see a demand or a need for that many spaces at all. I think that's pretty much it for the site plan. And this really is the question of the use variance. So, because the use is not listed as a permitted use, we obviously have to offer positive and negative criteria for the board's consideration of granting a use variance. The use variance would be for emergency shelter for homeless, pregnant and postpartum women, and consequently we're asking for that consideration for the board to grant the use variance. Regarding the positive criteria, Mr. Cohen noted, and it's listed in that as well, that currently beneficial use is defined as a use which is universally considered of value to the community because it fundamentally services the public good, promotes the general welfare. Similar uses are hospitals, schools, child care centers, group homes, and the like. Obviously, what's being proposed and what Ms. Gwen had testified to, this satisfies that intended use as inherently beneficial use. The proposal specific is under the auspices of a state licensing, which again further enhances or confirms the disposition. This is a needed type of facility that's recognized as a providing emergency shelter for homeless pregnant women. So with that, I believe the inherently beneficial use satisfies what the criteria is for a positive criteria for granting the use variance. Concerning the negative criteria, it's relative to the proposal will not impact the neighborhood, neighboring properties, their benefits will outweigh any detriments of the proposed use. As I had indicated in the neighborhood, the proposed use would not detract from the uses in the neighboring properties. It would remain as it is now. There was no changes. The property is well maintained. If you're familiar with the facility, there's no change in appearance. There would be no change to utility infrastructure, parking, drainage, so forth. The property is suitable for the intended use. The property was previously operated as a group home and managed by the center operators at the site. The use will serve the best interest of the borough, emergency housing license for the interest of homeless pregnant. Since there is no proposed change or modifications at the site, the proposal will not have an adverse effect. Consequently, I think my testimony is that the variance can be granted, could occur without a substantial detriment to the public good, will not substantially impair the intended result.
If I could just, a couple of just quick follow-up questions.
Sure.
Do you foresee any adverse impact on the public sewers and facilities, such as water, sewer, police, and fire protection?
I do not. Everything that is in place, the building is serviced by public utilities. There is no proposed modifications or changes. Will not have a negative impact.
Okay, so likewise, there won't be any impact on drainage facilities
Correct.
because there's no changes being offered? And no impact on traffic flow that you see?
No, the access onto the state highway, the access to the site, and the on-site circulation will remain as it is. Relatively speaking, the traffic volume from the streets will be low. Proposed occupancy is maximum of 10 persons being there at any one time.
Okay. Did you have any further testimony, Mr.
No,
DeVito? Okay.
unless there was
Yep.
go through the board, I looked at the professional reviews, I'll be happy to go through those if there's any questions.
Great. So that would conclude our initial presentation, and obviously welcome questions from the board and professionals and anyone from the public who wishes to be heard.
Anybody from the board have any questions yet?
Yeah, just real quick, what's the stats on the house? How many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, that type of stuff? Square feet?
I have your notes.
There are 7 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms. And I will defer to Mr. DeVito on square footage.
Square footage?
I mean, that's fine, 7 and 3, that's fine.
There's
Are the residents, they going through, obviously, are they having any other treatment, like criminal records, drug abuse? Or they just, or you have any restrictions on that? Or how's a person get onboarded there?
Great question. So this actually is very specifically a sober home. So the women have to remain sober during their stay with us. But they would have had a history of some sort of substance use.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? Did they had to have a history?
I'm sorry?
Just repeat what you said, please.
Oh, during their stay, the women will remain sober during their stay. It is a sober living environment. In terms of their history, they will have had to have had a history with some sort of substance use.
So this is for substance abuse, formerly at least substance abuse people?
Correct. It is recovery. Mhm.
How do you know they're clean for the time that they stay there?
Yeah, are they
Are they
tested?
tested or
They're tested.
they're tested?
Mhm.
What, weekly, what,
It's random.
random?
Mhm.
Okay.
You say
Thank you.
there's 7 bedrooms, but there's possibly 10 and with children?
Yes. So so we do not typically house or double up women who have children. So if it is a woman who is pregnant and/or if it is a woman who may not have her children in her care, she's working towards getting her children back in her care, we would double up the single women.
And how many were in the group home? How many did that house?
I am so sorry, but I cannot answer that question. The group home, it's been vague. We haven't had the group home in many years.
Okay. The transportation, you have an agency vehicle,
There is one agency vehicle.
so is that used to transport them to doctor's visits and that type of thing?
It absolutely can be, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Are there any children there or just moms?
They can have children. The women can have
Okay,
children.
that's what I
Yeah,
just said.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Is there a limit to how many children could be housed with the mother at the time?
There's typically it's one or two, maybe up to three. And the children are usually, the age limit for the children is 8 and younger. In terms of our experience, the children are typically infants and toddlers.
Okay, so like, is there an age cutoff for like you said, at
8,
8? So if they have any children over the age of 8, then it kind of.
Unfortunately, they would not be
Okay.
eligible for our program.
Now, excuse me, what about visitation? Are they allowed to have any visitation?
No.
We can
What's the
assume there's
follow-up? Oh, sorry.
visitation. I'm
No,
sorry.
go, you got it.
We can assume there's visitation permitted?
No, I'm so sorry. So if they have, like other providers, right, like other services or agencies that they are involved with, they can come onto the site for, to implement services, but they cannot have visitors. They cannot have friends. They cannot have family members come and visit with them on site with us.
So is there a need for security there?
Well, their current
I
location.
didn't ask, is there security? I'm kind of cutting you a break.
At their current location, there is no security, and there has not been a need for security. However, if they are able to be relocated to our headquarters campus, we do have on-site security in the evenings and the weekends.
You said the average stay, I think you said was 3 to 6 months or something like that. So, to my colleague's question, it was 8 years old, and they're there for 6 months. Is that child enrolled in the school system here? Would they be expected to enroll in school here? And then, would they come in and out? How's that? Would you be looking for the school district to bring your, somebody came with a 6-year-old, that's for school. So how would that work?
Oh, absolutely, right. So while the mom is residing with us, and if the mom does have a school-aged child, the child would be, actually, that's a great question.
I asked 2 great questions. Thank you.
Well, because McKinney,
Wouldn't they
well,
have to go
On a
to,
roll today.
would they have to go to school in Glassboro?
I was gonna say, I think with McKinney, I don't know if they have to, they might be able to go to their school of origin.
In where?
I don't know, yeah, I don't know what's your
How would they
operation.
get- I mean,
Yeah,
you try to
that's,
get the teach,
that's
but how
right.
they get
That's
there.
why.
I guess my thing
That's
is
a
like, when
great
kids come in first grade,
question.
enroll, 3 months later, they're gone.
Like, do you offer transportation to the children too? If there's a child there that's 6 or 7 enrolled in a school in Paulsboro?
We would not provide that
You would not provide
transportation.
transportation.
No, they're gonna be. They don't have that kind of money. Oh, it's
Yeah,
expensive.
Right, oh, no,
I
it's
know.
legit.
That's right.
It's a legitimate point, sir.
Right.
But even if local, like if they were enrolled in Glassboro schools, mom's there 3 to 6 months, if they were enrolled in Glassboro school, say it's a local Glassboro resident that has become unfortunately homeless and they have children, would there be some type of provision for the child or anything of that nature?
Honestly, that's a great question. We typically don't have school-aged children in the program, and we haven't in the last couple of years. So I'm not as intricately knowledgeable about how the schooling really works with the school-aged children.
And with all the services you provide here, like trauma care, independent living, life skills now, is that provided like by employees in your main building, or is that somebody that would come in from off-site? Is it like a lot of coming and going for these services offered?
So the majority of that is provided by the staff who are on site.
Okay.
We do have, we do have case managers, we have a program director, program supervisor, case manager, an LPN, and peer recovery. So throughout the course of the week, I mean, we only really typically have 2 people on at any given time, but they would be included in those 2. So we're constantly having 2 people on, and they would be providing those services as part of their duties and responsibilities.
And with the shelter, is it like other shelters like the VOA or Eleanor Corbett, where the participants at the shelter go, they stay in the morning, and then they're requested to leave for the day and then come back at a later time? Like, they're permitted to stay there 24/7?
Yeah, absolutely. This would not be similar to your traditional emergency homeless shelter. Again, it is licensed as an emergency homeless shelter, but our funding in the program, again, limits us to only being able to have up to 10 women at any given time. It creates the eligibility, it has to be moms who are currently pregnant and or parenting young children. So they are able to stay on site throughout the day.
So I think Mr. Perner might be spinning off of the Oxford House model, where, recovering alcoholics, you want to be here, fine, you got to work. So you get up in the morning, you go out and work, and you come home, and is that what you were thinking of?
Well, similar to that, I would, professional experience working on social services, we, when we place people in Camden County, like from Camden, because there's no shelter around here, that they would go to the shelter for the overnight, and then at like 7, 8 in the morning, they're requested to leave to whatever, to their
Gotcha.
own means, and then come back by a certain curfew time.
Right.
So that's what, like,
Gotcha.
sort of like the coming in and out, or if they're there, 24/7, since it says that
So
it
this
is a
is
form
neither
of
fish nor
recovery,
fowl,
substantive- yeah.
something different, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Going back to the security issue, so this isn't like an abused woman's shelter where they're anonymously there, no one knows they're there? Is that the emergency or not?
Correct. So this would not be a safe house. However, with any of our residentials, we would not add any signage. We would not advertise the fact that, this is a place to call home. And I'm trying to think. Does that answer the question?
Well, just because, like that I was saying, with the safe house, you would need to have security just in case someone. So that's why I was asking, is it that type of situation or not?
The current facility that you want to leave, is it smaller or bigger than this one on Dulce Drive?
It's larger.
How many bedrooms and bathrooms there?
I believe there are around 18 bedrooms.
Just one more, so you have people double up there. I mean, just any situation, 2 people that don't know each other doubled up. If it's smaller confined there. I mean, you obviously can't give me a number, but there's conflicts. You went to college, right? You didn't like your roommate. so yeah, you're secure. You never really have to make police calls or anything like that.
We do not. No, we do not.
So with your present facility, you would not have an overcrowding problem, even theoretically? Is that
Correct.
Now, you mentioned 10 people. Is that state mandated limit?
That's what we are funded to provide, housing in this program for up to 10 women.
So 10 women, but it could be more with children. It could be more people.
More persons.
More than 10. It's 10 mothers.
We can't hear that.
Now, is there, I know at this time you're saying that there's gonna be no changes, the building, you're just requesting a change of use variance. Is there future planning for, like, expansion of this building at this time, or anything
No.
aware of going up, back? I mean, there's a lot of space in this lot.
There is.
That's just out of curiosity, is that if, say that back building behind, the gray one behind the yellow one you have on yeah, if that were for any reason to, come down and extend the yellow building, but at this time there is no
There is none, and we have had, Ascenda has had this program, well, Robin's Nest, has had this program for many, many years. It has been down at its current location for the past 3 years or so. Prior to being at the current location, it actually was here in Glassboro. And it was in a smaller home here in Glassboro. So we kind of do have some experience with having to have the moms double up. And then in the current location, they have been able to spread out a little bit more. But we do have experience with both kind of scenarios. And there was no major concerns around conflicts when we were in the smaller home prior to their current location.
I have a question, please. Did I understand you said they stayed there for 10 weeks?
Their typical length of stay is 3 to 6 months.
Oh, 3 to 6 months, okay. And then where do they go from there? Do you have any idea?
The goal is for them to become stably housed.
Okay. Thank you.
I have a question, I'm sorry. But, I know you said that is 24/7. You have the staff there. Are there any curfew for the residents that stay there?
Yeah, they do have a curfew. Unfortunately, I don't remember what time it is. It's between 8 and 10 o'clock at night, but they do have a curfew.
And now are the people or the women that will be housed there, are they referred through another agency, like a social service agency, or can they come to the door directly requesting help, or are there other type of avenues that they have to go through to become eligible for this type of housing?
They can be self-referred, so they can call us up directly and say that there is a need. The hospital could refer them, right? When they're going through, delivery, or, when the hospital becomes aware that they are pregnant, the hospital can the hospital can refer. DCF can refer. So we have linkages with quite a number of other, social service agencies, other nonprofits, the hospitals, DCF, so that they can kind of help with some referrals. But women can self-refer to this program.
So this was used previously as a group home, someone said. How long is it, do you not know how long it's been vacant?
Well, it has not been a group home for at least 5 years. We did have some office space. It was used as office space for a short period of time, but it hasn't really not been used for at least 3 years.
Under your ownership?
Correct.
So looking at the front door, your neighbor to the left, like there's a blue house, is that a commercial space, or is that a resident?
It's a residential structure. To the best of my knowledge, it's rented.
I mean, people live there, that's a
Student rental
residential.
or
Right?
whatever, but
Yeah.
it's not owner occupied. Back to,
Yeah, that blue was right.
continuing
Yeah,
up,
the blue
there's,
one, yeah.
I think about the fifth house up is an auto service
Yeah, the motorcycle shop.
operation.
Mhm.
There's an office on the other side.
So your neighbors are private residents?
But they're older single-family homes.
Yeah.
Any other questions of the board? All right, Mr. Beegan, you're first up.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We had our November 4th, 2025 letter. Most of the items have been addressed in testimony already. One was regarding the parking spaces. I'm satisfied with the explanation that's been given in terms of the amount of parking and the reasoning behind the parking. One item that was maybe not thoroughly addressed was any outdoor space, since there will possibly be toddlers also, any recreation area or anything like that for the residents?
There is outdoor space next to and behind. There we go. There's a little grass area next to, and then there's a larger grass area behind, and then on the other side. So we We are looking to fence it in to make it a safe environment for the children.
And that's it, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
Other questions?
Mr. Cowan?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First, I'd like to say that I appreciate the testimony from the applicant's planner with respect to the positive and negative criteria. I think that I'm satisfied with the testimony regarding that. I did have just a few questions, hoping that maybe the applicant could speak to, first, whether there's sufficient lighting around the site to make a safe environment, or if they could provide some testimony about the exterior lighting, please.
Yes, I mean, we've done an inspection of this property. As the property was developed, it was developed as professional offices, the paved parking lots. Street lighting is in place, and there's more than sufficient lighting. We didn't do like meter readings and so forth, but the entire perimeter of the building and even on the building itself, there is lighting.
So where the clients would be parking near the emergency shelter, that also is
Right in this row here. Yes.
well enough lit? Okay. How about signage? You may have mentioned signage, but is there adequate, or are there any changes to the signage? Anything like that?
There will be no changes to the signage.
Okay. How about handling and hauling of trash? Any changes?
There will be no changes. The facility has a dumpster and dumpster service.
Okay. Well, can you speak to the, I guess there's a food service that's provided for meals during is it all the meals are served to the clients inside the building?
That's a great question. Actually, the residents are responsible for their preparing their own food. So they will be doing their own grocery shopping. They do their own grocery shopping. I'm sorry, it's an existing program. They do their own grocery shopping. You know, we have a kitchen which we have, you know, extended cabinets. So there is sufficient storage, food storage. We will be adding additional refrigeration so that, if this is approved, we will be bringing the refrigeration over from the current location to ensure that there is adequate food storage and refrigeration for the women, and they will be responsible for cooking their own food for themselves and their children if they have them.
Oh, I see, okay. And is there any, I think this is my last question, any interior facilities for children to, like a playroom or something like that?
There's multiple common areas within the building currently, in addition to the bedrooms.
Sorry, quick follow-up to that though. So it has been vacant for a while. So is it up to date with all, I'm assuming people cooking their own food, they can have stuff in
Yeah.
the room? How's the fire and sprinkler system, how's that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tested and everything's good?
Absolutely. Even though the space has been vacant, we keep up with all of the monthly and quarterly inspections, as well as all of the fire requirements. In anticipation of this relocation back in the spring, we did a lot of improvements to prepare it for the residents, plus their children.
Along those lines, if I may, and I don't know if it's touched on, this is state-funded. There are state standards and are there state inspections?
Correct. Yeah, thank you. I forgot about that part. Yeah, so the facility is licensed by the Department of Community Affairs, and we absolutely have to maintain compliance with all of those standards. And the DCA, there's a heavy emphasis on facility standards that we have to be in compliance with.
That's all the questions I have, Mr. Chairman.
Any more questions from the board? All right. Can I have a motion to open this to the public?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is there anybody from the public that would like to speak? Come on up.
My name is Jolene Rudder.
Lord, I'm going to ask you to raise your right hand. How do you swear or affirm testimony about to give us true and correct the best of your knowledge, information, and belief?
It's true. Yes.
Is that yes? Okay.
Yes,
Well,
yes,
great.
sir.
And where do you live vis-à-vis this project?
We're the owner occupants of 43 Delsey Drive.
Okay, and where is that? How
Across the
far from
street.
this? Across the street, there you go. Thank you. Take it away.
All right, I just have a written statement I just wanted to read. I thank you for the information regarding this. And I wanted to thank you for the notice of Ascenda's application for the use.
Well, that's the law. They got to do that.
Well, I thank you for it irrespectively. We're the nearby homeowners at 43 Delsey Drive. My husband is a service-disabled combat veteran of Operation Iraqi Freedom and Desert Storm. And I wanted to just share several points for the board's consideration. We care greatly about the location from the residential standpoint, although that's been downplayed in the discussion here. This is an investment that we made in this community. When we arrived a couple years ago, we improved our house. Shortly after that, our neighbors made improvements in terms of upgrading the exterior of the homes, you know, just making the area a nicer place to live. Ascenda, we're familiar with Ascenda from our standpoint. The property has been well maintained. Their existing programs have not created any observable disruption in the neighborhood. However, the request to establish an emergency homeless shelter represents a potential expansion or change in the scope and intensity of the activity at the site. For that reason, we believe it's essential for the board to fully understand the proposed operations before any variance is approved. Based on what we've reviewed, and I think, you know, gaining some additional information here tonight that, you know, in terms of that kind of program being successful, you know, the level of staffing and supervision is very important. Connections to permanent housing, rapid transition out of there so it doesn't become a permanent status, and integration with other support systems. I mean, we've gotten some information about that. I don't know the details. I'm not an expert on it. What we're most concerned about is the security around the area. So in recent times, there have been the addition of 2 cannabis facilities down the street. This is in walking distance to this location, which is mentioned that they have prior issues with drugs. So this is, you know, a concern for us as to what kind of security will be in the area, what type of, as was mentioned, what type of lighting, you know, in order to make sure that it remains as a residential location. If there was any change in the traffic, if there was a curfew, you know, how much staff was going to be in the area to monitor that, any boundaries around it, any future expansion, increased occupancy. I noticed that it was originally 18 rooms going down to 10. I don't know why. There was no explanation for that. And I don't know if they plan on trying to expand it as a result because I don't know why they're getting smaller. And given the mixed-use nature of this portion of Delsey, we just want to be sure that there aren't any adverse impacts, particularly during the late-night hours when the area does become quiet and more residential in character. We also wanted to note, as I mentioned, the 2 cannabis dispensaries that are in close proximity on the same corridor. They naturally increase vehicle traffic, pedestrian, nighttime movement. These are vulnerable individuals, and that's what we wanted to underscore, the importance of strong on-site supervision, predictable operations, and clear boundaries. What is the impact on local law enforcement? You know, because, you know, we have our property there. And also, we do have neighbors. I mean, I do have to say that, I don't know who's here from the neighborhood, but when we did some improvements, our neighbors made improvements. It was actually very nice what occurred in that location. And it's not just rentals. Not that there's anything wrong with rentals, but there are people who are living in that location. In addition, I just want to point out there is a public trail that abuts that property. It is a beautiful, beautiful trail. I run on that trail, and I am concerned, and I think it's a right concern about security, and that's pretty much the most important component that that trail and that area remains safe for all users and enjoyment, you know, for the public, and that this change, you know, doesn't have a negative impact on that. So we just ask that the board, you know, carefully consider it, ensure there are stringent measurable conditions to ensure the continued safety, minimal impact to the surrounding homes. And as a military veteran family, we invested in this neighborhood. So I want to thank you for your time and consideration, and we're happy to be in Glassboro, New Jersey. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Is there anybody else from the public? With that being said, do I have a motion to close the public portion?
Motion close.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So be it. Any other questions?
Follow-up question on
Go ahead.
security. I don't know if I missed something, Rob, but you have two people on staff, not necessarily security. What are the qualifications regarding intoxication or drug recognition?
That's a great question.
The tenants have to be sober, correct?
Yes.
How do you enforce it, and how do you recognize it?
So we do random urine drug screens. And then there would be consequences if one of the residents tests positive.
So just, you know, to look at a bad scenario, if somebody popped over to the dispensary and bought some weed and came back, they may get away with it that night, but it would show up, are you saying, are the tests frequent enough? I don't know how long.
I think it's what,
Well, the
90 days?
weed would be in your system.
Weed would stay in your
for
system
a
for like
month,
90
And
days.
then you would bounce them, I guess. They'd
It's
out-
usually
they're
in
out
there
of the
for 90
program?
days.
I'm sorry?
The weed's
isn't it
usually in your
legal now?
system for 60 to 90 days.
It's legal
Yeah,
now.
this is more of an opioid.
No, but you're
Not in this
talking, but aren't
facility,
you talking
though.
about all substances? Isn't that the idea?
Correct. You need to remain sober, completely sober from all
Right,
substances, including
right,
alcohol.
Right, because it wasn't working. The plan A wasn't working, so you're plan B. You're gonna fix everything, right? I mean, that's the
That's the
idea.
We
theory.
do our best every
Well,
day.
Well, you're gonna do a great job. I'm just saying.
But just to that lady's concern, I wish she would've stayed. I guess knowing that property, actually, my mom worked was a nurse. She used to go down and call at Robbins, that's years ago. So that front porch, so that lady's concern though, obviously they're not in jail, so I'm not a big stickler on, you can't do this. But it is a nice front porch. Can they gather at night, make noise, disrupt this lady and her husband? Is there rules? I mean, it is a nice frontage. I know the property.
They would follow the normal noise ordinance
Yeah, I mean,
with any house that's on that street.
yeah, I mean.
It's the same thing, yeah.
That's a legitimate concern.
Yeah.
And I don't know her, but houses across the street, they did do a great job, and that, you know, she had a legitimate question, she should've stayed, but they're here to answer.
She has obligations.
Yeah. So how do you guys control that? I mean, obviously you're not kids, so you can't, but.
Right. Well, we do have a curfew, and then, of course, we would have to follow the noise ordinances of the town. And our goal, I mean, we've been in the community and we've been at this location for a very long time, and our goal is to be a good neighbor. I think we've proven that we've been a good neighbor, and our goal is to continue to be a good neighbor. For everyone's awareness, in addition to the current residential, facility that we are proposing, and again, it used to be a group home under our oversight. So we do have experience having residential there at that site. In addition,
What was the age?
it was youth.
It was you.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was a
yeah.
youth group home.
That was years ago. Yeah, it was the youth, yeah.
In addition, the space, which is not on these plans, but behind our facility, we have residentials that is under our area of oversight. Lifelink Homes is under Ascenda's purview as well. And those residences are for aging out youth, so youth who are aging out of the foster care system. And we lease those apartment spaces to the aging out youth, and we provide the services to them. And again, I mean, I don't.
Well, that one sits alone, right?
Right.
That's so
It
far
does.
off, that's not affecting that lady. You know, if she lives in that blue house and then they're doing a white one right next to the transmission, obviously I understand the town take it extra serious, so I take what she says seriously. If she's right across, that's a whole lot different than that bigger house way down the bike path. Like,
But she runs down that bike path.
yeah.
And her point is well
Right.
made,
Yeah.
that she's got 2 different cannabis stores right there within walking distance, so she does,
I mean, she
she's
makes
got a,
valid points, which
she does have a valid
I
point.
just don't want her point.
Well, where the
to last.
cannabis stores are located, that's not under my area of purview.
Yeah, you're right, she should have stayed.
But,
But
but your security, your on-site security covers the whole property.
Yes, our on-site security is actually housed in the building right behind where we are proposing to put the a place to call
what are
home.
their hours?
They work evenings and weekends. And then, of course, we have on-site staff. I mean, I'm there, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. So we have additional supports right there on site as well.
I think the concern's probably more off hours than on.
Yeah, nights only.
Valid, yeah.
5:01 on. As soon as you're gone.
I have a
Now,
question.
what
Yes, I have a
is,
question.
what is the proposed curfew time right now for the facility if get approved?
She said she didn't know.
Oh, you don't know, I'm sorry. I must have heard
There is a current curfew. I
That's
just, unfortunately, I don't know what it is, but it is between 8 and 10 o'clock at night. Of course, I mean, some of the moms have children, so of course, they're not gonna be out late at night.
Now, if they, say they do come back after curfew, things happen, right? They go out shopping, car break down, whatever it may be. Are they allowed into the facility to gather their things and turned away? Are they able to come in? Are they turned away for the evening? Like, what is their?
Yeah, so I think, let's kind of differentiate that we are a licensed homeless shelter, but we are a program. A Place to Call Home is a program. We are funded by the state to provide a service to the moms that live in the program. And so our goal is to work with women who are in recovery and to help set them up for success. So when a woman is referred in, we go over the program rules with them, what all the expectations, what their 3 to 6 month is going to look like, what we're going to do, right, what we're bringing to the table, what they're expected to bring to the table, and it goes over the expectations, the rules, they sign off on it, and it also includes all the consequences, right? So if they don't follow the rule, this is what's going to happen. So everything is laid out from the door when they first come into the program. And then what we do is, as things come up, we start going through the consequences that were laid out upon when they came into the program.
Yeah, because I was thinking more along the lines like somebody comes back late and that's what they're worried about, the disruption. Like I've referred people to homeless shelters for the county, and they say they're willing to go. They give us yes, and then they don't show up for curfew, and then it's, it becomes an issue. We've had clients turn back around to us. We have had clients say they're gonna go and then they show up with another person that wasn't supposed to be there. Things do happen. Some show up with children that weren't even told to the agency when we referred them there. People are at their dire straits. They're willing to do whatever they can to get, a roof over their head. So I'm assuming that's part of the concern for the woman that had here. That's just pure speculation on my part, is that, if anything were to happen, somebody shows up late, somebody's missed curfew, or there's an issue, what type of atmosphere can they expect, showing up at that shelter at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning? Like, even with, opioid addiction, with any person, male or female, life throws them a curveball and they're kind of moving around. So, I mean, the current concern for the community is if somebody's going to, raise a problem, try to bring somebody there that's not supposed to be there at different times and whatever they may or get away with, so.
I have a question, please. If they're caught drinking or using drugs, what's the penalty? What happens? Are they evicted right away?
Not necessarily.
So they can break the rules and still stay there?
There'd be consequences.
There are.
I mean, we serve women who are in recovery. So we're going to support them through their recovery. But depending upon the situation, again, I don't have the rules right in front of me right now to know exactly what
No,
the
I
consequence would be.
Yeah.
But there absolutely would be a consequence and it would be enforced. Would it mean immediate termination from the program? It may not.
Okay. Thank you.
But you also said that in your place in Salem, that you aren't calling the police every
No.
night, and you don't have constant problems with these women. They're
No.
looking for a second chance, and you're trying
Absolutely.
to give it to them.
And again, I mean, our track record has been really positive with this program. We've had this program for a number of years. Again, prior to it being in its current location down in Pittsgrove, it was here in Glassboro, and there were no issues or concerns when it was here in Glassboro. I mean, I could count less than one hand how many times the police have had to be called over the course of a year.
I know, and I've been on this site, and I know how immaculate it is, but, you know, the use variances for emergency homeless mothers. I mean, so in a wholesome point of view, this is a place that services someone that's in need that would appreciate it. You always have problems.
Absolutely.
The center's really well-established managing this type of thing, and, you know, that's how you grow and take care of these needed situations.
Any other questions?
No? Okay.
You think? Okay.
No, it's pretty spirited, right? A lot of questions,
So,
that's good.
what's the pleasure of the board?
Motion to grant Ascenda's request for use variance to allow an emergency homeless shelter to be permitted in the zone L1.
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Can I just have a point of order, number one, or does it matter, Mr. Solicitor, if we're doing it based on inherently beneficial use or granting of a use variance? Number two, I think I'm
Well,
number
number
eight.
one, yes, it's a question, so it really doesn't matter because it's the grant of the use variance. But obviously, foundationally, or supporting that or buttressing that is the fact that it's inherently beneficial use, which you can just tell by the denotation in and of itself, homeless shelter.
Next, I think I'm number eight, so I do not vote on this.
Well, no, I don't think you're necessary, we got a good turnout, so.
I'm sorry?
We got a good turnout, so.
Yeah,
No.
so I
Yeah,
do
just
not
to-
vote on
no.
this.
Correct.
Okay.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Roll call.
Ms. Lafferty?
Ms. Lafferty?
Yes, I vote yes.
Mr. Perner?
Yes.
Mr. Santor?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Wayman?
Yes.
Mr. Lopez?
Yes.
Mr. Moonen?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
Well, good
this
luck
evening.
with it.
Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, so we don't have any reports. So let's go. All right, there's been some workshop activity. So it looks like 312 North Main Street, they're looking to demolish the existing house and construct a new 9-bedroom house on it.
Have a good Thanksgiving, everyone.
You
Thank
too.
you, too.
Thank you.
And look, we got a company that's looking to go into the old Ricky Rolls building. And I guess they're gonna put some equipment in there for fabrication or something.
Yeah, that's,
Good night.
they've got some more work to do on that one.
Okay.
That definitely would be in front of this board, and, the fabrication is like a one-man kind of thing. They just thought it wasn't very intense.
Just like the bread was.
Yeah, so we asked a lot of questions. So it's where the bakery used to be, in the back building on that property. But they would still keep the one rental building on site, you know, so it'd be
Right.
mixed use also, besides having a use that's not contemplated in the zone.
All right. And then we have Express Food Mart needs a solar canopy.
Yeah, that one would be in front of planning board.
Okay, that wouldn't come to us.
And the reason being is that the electric that would be generated from it would just really be for that site. It's not gonna go to the grid and make money off of it or anything like that. So if that was the case, then it would have two uses on the property, and that's not what it is.
All right, and I guess we're getting the 51 Williamsburg Court residential home, they're gonna add a 6th bedroom.
Yes, yeah, that's another one coming.
Are they allowed
What were they
to?
doing on that one? Sorry.
I guess they're adding a bedroom?
And that's why the use variance.
Okay.
Because right now it's just 5 bedrooms, correct? in certain areas, you
Yeah.
can't go beyond 5.
Correct.
And then, over here on Liberty Street and Reading Street, they're gonna tear down the existing duplex homes and detached garage and built 2 duplex
Yeah,
residences.
That would be in front of this board one way or the other. It would be for personages, for the religious use. And they're looking at different ways of reshaping that probably. You're not gonna see that for a little bit. They got some work to do also.
And my new favorite one is the back 9 golf.
Yes.
Oh, prep
Yes.
boys.
And that will be here.
Prep guys.
I guess next month. And that one is for inside golf. They're gonna have 4 golf simulators. And it's more of a membership kind of deal, or you do it online, people won't.
But it's still a mixed use to boot.
It's a mixed
Mixed
use,
use.
and that property actually has received planning board approval not long ago for D. Simone Construction. And the use that was approved there was for office use at the time. So that the leftover 5,000 square feet they have, they're gonna have this use, which is not a use that's contemplated in that zone either. So that'll come in front of us here.
That's gonna be interesting. I heard it was gonna be 24/7 access.
That's what they propose, yes.
Is it like the 24/7 anytime playtime gym that used to be around and then
Yeah.
that went?
They have, if you do any research, they have one, I believe, Wilmington, Princeton, and the one that they're pointing to is in Pompton Plains or Pompton Lake, something like that, up North Jersey.
Yeah, okay. That should be fun.
But they've got a website, you could check out what they do on their website, back 9 months.
Looks like we're gonna be busy in the next few months. All right, Mr. Alice's report.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman, members, and let's be busy a couple months. We've had a little bit of a.
We had a vacation.
Hiatus.
Yes.
Yes. So, Mr. Chairman, members, for your consideration, we do have, single resolution R 25-10. This is a, granting an extension for preliminary and final site plan. It had some bulk variance, relief and waivers for Vision 214 High, QOZB Inc., Block 33, Lot 8, 214 East High Street.
Do I have a motion?
Motion to grant the extension.
Roll call vote?
Ms. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Perner?
Yes.
Mr. Santor?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Wyman?
Yes.
Mr. Lopez?
Yes.
Mr. Moonen?
Yes. Since we have no old business or new business and nobody here from the public, do I have a motion to adjourn to the next meeting for December 18th?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So be it.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Have a nice Thanksgiving.
I think that guy's gonna be afraid to come back.
We'll see what happens.
He's doing it on his. He's doing it on his own. He's doing it on his own. He's not having an attorney.